Going on, everybody? Welcome out to our Wednesday night live stream. Hopefully you all are having a happy, healthy week. I was going to try to do something cool like, what's all you cats and kittens? But it's lame. Anyway, I'm trying to make light of the situation. I have good news and I got bad news. Well, Gary, good news. And we'll get into that in a second. I just want to make sure we get everybody in here. Make sure it sounds good, looks good before we get rolling. And we do have a pretty cool episode for tonight, though. I started to look into some of the Japanese stuff quite a while back. And, basically it was Justin that piqued my interest with this because he is very well versed in this stuff. And then, after I did the JoJo Ackerman interview, it skyrocketed my interest. So I thought it'd be a cool episode tonight to talk about the differences between a Oni and a Hannya Mask. And I'll be the first to admit that I did not really, I knew there was a difference. I didn't know what the difference was. But we'll get into that in a second. All right, just give me a thumbs up. Let me know it sounds good, looks good, and we're going to get rolling with this bad boy because I do have a good amount of information. It's definitely not a full tilt set of information, but you know, I want to make sure everything's good. I well, I'm gonna get into the let's get into the good news, bad news. All right, moderator Nikki gave me the thumbs up, so that means we sound good, look good. Well, we look as good as I'm gonna get. So usually you do good news first, bad news second. We're gonna do bad news first. I have made an executive decision that this will be our last Wednesday night live stream. It's been awesome to do. I enjoy hanging out with everybody as always. But we're going to stick to just doing Sunday night live streams. And the reason is I need to devote more time to content creation and editing. Wednesday nights definitely hampers that, and I feel like I'm burning the candle at both ends. I'm also on a new mission to drop some weight, so that means I gotta get back in the gym, clean up my diet, uh, and I gotta find space somewhere. And I know that you guys will totally understand. And this doesn't mean that it's for the end of time. It's just for right now. Maybe we'll revisit this in the summer. I thought I was going to have enough time to pull off Wednesday nights and Sunday nights, but I'm really falling behind with editing and stuff like that. And I want to make sure that I'm getting the best content out that I can get you guys. So hopefully you all understand. Uh, I'll see everybody on Sunday nights. It is what it is. But I appreciate everyone that's ever hung out with me on a Wednesday night. It's been awesome. And like I said, it's not the end. It's just for now. And we'll talk about maybe revisiting at a later time. So hopefully you get it. Hopefully you all understand. So let's get into this Oni Hannya Mask thing. Now, I put on the thumbnail, I did not know. Because honestly, I didn't. And if I get anything wrong tonight, please, please tell me. I am all about constructive criticism. If you're going to be a dick about it, you can kind of keep that to yourself. We'll just call a spade a spade. So, again, I started to go down this path of trying to learn more of the Japanese style of tattooing, some of the history, some of the mysticism of it. And then I happened to be rolling through Instagram and I saw this post. And I saw this. And it's a page that I happen to follow. It is called Irizumi artist. They do a lot of different Japanese style tattooing, and they talk about the history. And I went, you know what, man, that would be pretty awesome to do on a Wednesday night. So the confusion is Hannya and Oni are both fierce figures in Japanese imagery. Because they look similar, they're often used interchangeably in tattoos. Culturally, they come from very different places. That is where the rabbit hole started for me. Now, I did take a bunch of notes, and I'm going to give props to a page. Let me pull it up real quick. The dude did a really, really in-depth. So I saw Zen Up Your Life did a very good individual episode on Oni and another one on Hannya. And then there's a gentleman that does YouTube content, and the name of the channel is Japanese Guided by Yoshi. So I got a majority of the information that we're going to talk about tonight off of the video that he did, but I also compiled a little bit of information from some other places. And then we're going to do, I figure we'll go right down the line. I do have some cool pictures to show why I talk about some of this stuff. And we'll get into, some of the telltale signs, how to decipher, one from the other. And then we'll also get into the new state where it's more of the hybrid part, and which is creating some of the confusion. And he talked about that, the Guided by Yoshi. He talked about how in current state of tattooing, there's a lot of combinations of both Oni and Hannya masks. He also stated that it was, harder and harder these days to find traditional versions of each individual one. So what we're going to do tonight is we're actually going to start off with the Hannya. So the Hannya I have up on the screen. That's a wood carved mask. This is a traditional version of a Hannya mask. Hannya is a female face with expressions. In no theater, Hannya represents a woman. She's twisted by love, jealousy, and betrayal. Her emotions had stacked up over time until they exploded, warping her face. And this is where you get the twisted up versions of what they look like. Now, here's another example. Sometimes looking angry and laughing at the same time. So it's a combination of emotions all in one mask. Oftentimes she looks like she's about to cry. And the Hannya is all about the curves of the face and the flowing lines. Eyes, mouth, cheekbones, and jawline all bend in soft curves. So what he's giving you is examples on how to decipher the difference between that and, let's say, that. That's an Oni mask. So we're going to get into some of this, but I just wanted to give like a quick, brief background on some of these to try to get some of the knowledge behind it and what to look for. Horns are often thin and long and curved inward, which you can see here. Now, this is where some of the combination factors are overlapping. And if I can, I'll try to pull up a picture to show you how they combine not only the teeth and the horns and the hair into one hybrid looking mask. Teeth should also follow a curve with an outward flaring in shape, which you can see here. So the teeth are definitely curved. the pointer teeth look like they're more projected outwards and never straight. Um, so the um, Oni is power that turned into a beast. So Oni is always going to be some type of beast or monster. Oni is a creature of brute force and violence. In tradition, they live in mountains or caves and attack villagers. Um, they're there to, steal treasures and punish souls. Um, Sometimes they are born as monsters, and sometimes humans, evil humans, can become Oni as well um, after death. So usually, I'm looking at this version that I have here. Um, Horns are so visually straight and angular. Horns are short, thick, and stick almost straight out. Teeth usually bite inward like a straight weapon. Jawline, eyebrows, and cheekbones have bony bumps to them. And I think that this is more of a better version. But even this one, if we're going over the examples that were given, this is the teeth are a little off from the traditional aspect of it. Oni often have wild curly hair and thick beard. Um, just to imagine being like a beastly old guy face. I'm trying to see. There you go. There's a better example. Even though on this one, the horns are curved inward. And the way he described it was the horns should always be straight, short, thick. And when the horns are curved inward, that's usually indicative of a Hannya Mask. Um, Inside Japan, Oni can also be a cute or friendly representation and often represented on mascots and masks. And I have a version of that where I have it written down here that um, they use these at the beginning of February, which is the beginning of their Japanese calendar. And the Oni is in the northeast gate. And there's like this, the reason why um, Oni has usually like leopard skin pants on and has horns is because it falls between the bull and the tiger. Um, I couldn't find any with leopard skin or leopard print pants, but they also um, kids use them as cute representations for a festival that begins at the beginning of the year on February 4th, I think it was. I was trying to find it in my notes and I can't find it now. Um, and I think it was called Sitsun is the name of the festival. I could be wrong about that. I have to look that up. But here's a good example. Setsuban. That's it. It's on a goddamn picture that I'm showing you. But here's a cool little thing where they have the like a craft pack that they give out to kids, and that was the one video that I was watching. They were talking about that, how they do this for the festival, and then usually the father or parent, it's usually the father wears the mask, and they throw out soybeans and stuff like that to get rid of bad spirits and bring in good tidings for the year. So it's all wrapped up into a lot of different history here. It doesn't just go to the masks that you see from a theater perspective. And I know I say theater wrong. I grew up in Pittsburgh. Sue me. Somebody's going to bust my balls about it. I get it all the time. They're also, they have different colors as well. A red Oni represents greed. A blue Oni represents wrath. White or yellow represents otherworldly desires. Green Oni is the lazy one. And a black Oni represents doubt. When I tried to look these pictures up, I have to be honest with you, it was pretty tough to get some different representations. Hit that. If I go back to the screen share that I have here, this original post that I had showed some cool. So here's some illustrations of Oni. Obviously, we just talked about that, living in a mountain or a cave. Pretty cool Hannya back piece. Looks like it was done by Garth B. Neal. Tattoo. Oni tattoo done by Max Dem Tattoo. So that's a really good representation of an Oni tattoo. Got the short horns, got the teeth, we got the beard and the hair. All the proper representation. So these were some good examples of pictures that I could find. When you go to look, I couldn't believe, after looking into this, how much there is this hybrid thing that's going on, where they're doing a lot of combining of the two masks. These newer hybrid mixed designs are often what create confusion on knowing which is which. As far as picking a tattoo and sticking to the traditional look of the tattoo, Oni is perfect for someone that wants a tattoo that represents trials and battles, someone with an inner beast or a wild side. Hannya Mask is perfect for someone with deep emotional scars, admitting you were once broken. Now, some of the telltale signs, and I'm going to go back into here, just so I could see what everybody's talking about. If the expressions change a lot when you change the angle of the mask, that is usually a Hannya. From the front, it could look like look furious or jealous. From below, it could look like the mask smirking, and from above, the mask looks sad. And if we go back to here, it's hard to tell that from the picture, but one of the things that I did want to talk about is the eyes. Pupils sit high, the lower white stands out. Oni eyes are bigger and beast-like. So here you could see how in the eyes of the mask, it has almost like a sad expression to it. If the expressions look like a beast from all angles, which would be more representation of like that or that, it's always going to be an Oni mask. Hannya horns are long and thin and curved inward, where the Oni horns are thick and straight. With the eyes, going back to the eyes on the Hannya mask, it's known as the classic broken human eyes, which gives it the sad look to them. When you go back to this one, I thought was pretty scary, by the way. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty it's pretty gnarly looking. But you go back into here, big eyes are like a monster or an animal that is more Oni. The other thing that this talks about to get the decipher which is which is more of the hair as well. So on a Oni mask, which we have here, it's usually curly, wild looking hair and beard. They also talk about having bumps on the jawbones and cheekbones, so it's not smooth skin. Hanya's will have more of a smooth skin look. It'll have straight white or straight hair. Um, it will look, like frazzled, but it'll be straight, long hair. Um, Hanya's hair is always long, straight, disheveled, and looks like a woman's hair. Um, Oni hair is big curls, wild looking, and they often have thick facial hair. Um, so these are some of the cool stuff that I found tonight. I mean, do you guys know? I think Drag does, because Drag actually commented on the post that I made that he actually saw um, the Japanese with Yoshi video that I was referencing here. Did it? Do you guys know the difference? I mean, did you know the difference before tonight? I mean, maybe it's just me. I know that some of this stuff is very particular. Jojo Ackerman actually talked about it, how he spent, years of trying to perfect his Japanese, and he always felt like he just was just like, you know, didn't hit perfection. So he kind of like altered his style a little bit to create his own style. And I know that from the few people that I do or have talked to about the Japanese style of tattooing, they are very particular. And I know Justin talks about the clouds, and the way the clouds are drawn have to be drawn in a specific way to meet like at a certain point. Um, there's like all these different little nuances that make it an exact Japanese tattoo. Um, I have what I thought was a Hannya mask, but after going through some of this, I would say it leans more towards a Hannya mask, but it has remnants of the Oni mask as well on my arm. So let's see here. I did not know the difference. It's pretty cool how they represent different things. Um, so that was moderator Nikki. Drag said, I spend a lot of time to study the Japanese history to not make mistakes in the Japanese tattoo. There you go. So I know that, it's so particular that there are, artists from the United States anyway, I'm sure all over the world, that go to Japan to study with the masters just to get all these little nuances down pat, to study it. And it's amazing to me. We have American traditional here. We have obviously thousands, not thousands, but a lot of different styles here in the United States between trad, realism, trash polka. I mean, we have all kinds of stuff, right? And I would say that American traditional is very specific to the way it's supposed to look, the way it's supposed to be colored in, the way it's supposed to be shaded. The only other thing I could think of that's that particular is the Japanese stuff. The Japanese stuff, has to be on point in order for it to be considered classic or traditional Japanese look. To me, it's amazing, and I would love to get, like you see some of these amazing back pieces that are done that are full traditional Japanese. Man, I would love to do that at some point, but it would be a waste of money because my fat ass does not need to be walking around without a shirt on. And B, that's probably going to cost a lot of money. So, but Drag said, but still, I learn always new stuff. Next year, we travel to Japan too after we finish our new shop. There you go. So, Drag, do you have a master that you plan on going to work with, or introduce yourself to? That was one of the things that Jojo Ackerman talked about was, he was friends with Junie and Bill Salmon, who basically, um, introduced him to Kazaguri and Horiyoshi family members. Uh, and to me, the way he was describing it and talking about it, I mean, it was a huge deal to do that. Um, I think that's probably the first person that I could think of off the top of my head that actually did that. Um, I'm sure that it could have been somebody else too, but as far as I know, that might be the only person I've met personally that's done that. Let's see who's hanging out with us tonight, man. So we got moderator Nikki, got Nathan hanging out with us. What's up? We got Sarah, OG Sarah. Uh, we got Andres Ortez. What's up? Good to see you. Bill O'Connell hanging out. What's up? What's up? Dandy Dick, good to see you, man. Uh, got Drag, of course. Got Scott Force. What's up, Scott? Good to see you, man. So Scott finally makes it in on a Wednesday night. Dude's been under the weather. He's been working his ass off. And tonight's my last Wednesday night for a while. Bill O'Connell, I just lost internet connection on my computer. I'm watching on my phone. There you go, man. I appreciate that. Dude's in there hanging out no matter what. The no matter what club. I love it. Like I said, guys, we're going to continue to do Sunday nights, but, man, the Wednesday nights, it's getting too much, dude. I did an interview last night with Pim. Pim's got her new podcast that she's doing, and man, it's pretty cool, dude. It was cool to be interviewed by somebody else for once. We talked about YouTube, the YouTube game, how I got into it. We talked about tattooing, obviously. She asked some pretty cool questions that I think some of you might be interested in. Once it's posted, I told her to put me up as a collab, and I will definitely, this way it helps her out and spreads it out to some people. I'm trying to find her. Here we go. I just can't remember what the hell it's called. It's called The Old Crow Show. And she's already had a bunch of really good interviews, man. So once it's posted, I'll let you guys know, of course. But, I thought I'd return the favor, man. She was nice enough to let me do an interview with her. And, hopefully it takes off for her, man. She's got an incredible story, so she's got a lot to give, which is cool. Drag just said we'll make the Shikoku Hunru. It's a way of 88 Temple. After this, we'll talk better Japanese, and we'll see how we visit. We'll find out or make it. Okay, cool. Dandy Dick said, I realized I just totally trashed that too, by the way. Great to be able to catch you on the last one, Buck. I get you on the time struggle. We're opening a supply business, running a shop, scheduling surgeries, etc. Scott Force said, I spent several trips to Tokyo and Kincho, where I got a hell of a taste for Japanese and Chinese work. Way too scripted for me to do it daily. Interesting. So there you go. I've never met you personally, but there's another person that I know of that took the trip to Japan. It fascinates me, man. I've seen a few videos of people over in Japan doing it, and it's pretty amazing to me. I love the color palettes that they use. I love the different aspects of it, picture-wise. You could get so many different things, between the different masks, the dragons, samurai warriors, all that stuff, man. I thought it's just truly fascinating, and it's something that I would really like to delve into for one of my history episodes. But man, it's such a big chunk of history. I don't know if I can get that all in one shot, but it's something I'm going to definitely look into for the future. You know, and as far as Dandy Dick saying about the struggles of time and stuff like that, nah, I get it, man. And look, here's the thing: I really need to focus on some of my health too, some of that mental health as well, but physical health. I got to get back into the gym, dude. I have gained weight at an alarming rate, and I just don't feel good at all. I haven't felt good in probably like since before Christmas. So, between back pain and all the other stuff, it's just, I got to get back into the gym. I got to clean up my diet, get back into the gym. And, hopefully it will also help me hammer down on putting out more content for you guys, because I have dude, if I showed you my list of episode ideas, it's long. And right now, I mean, I'm in the like mode of editing two more interviews. I have a guy that's hitting me up. He wants, apparently he's like a manager or artist representation guy for a dude in Owen Palace out in Seattle. He was in a rock band back in the day. Now he's a tattoo artist. So there's stuff I got lined up that I want to do. Bill O'Connell said I have a Japanese dragon and I guess a Japanese Oni Mask. It was done in 1982 or 1983 by a guy named Don Singer. He told me he had tattooed in Japan for 3 years. That's awesome. I have a Coleman style dragon on my leg. It is currently my oldest tattoo that I have that's showing. I think I had two that were older than that have been blasted over at this point. Matter of fact, by the Hannya Mask that I have. So, yeah, man. To me, like when I see those giant back pieces, dude, that's sick, dude. Those are some good. Those are, I mean, it's like a perfect, spot for all the cool shit that you could fit into there. In 1984, I had that same design airbrushed on the top of my gas tank on a custom rigid frame Sportster Harley. Nice, dude. There you go. I also understand too that the Japanese style is not for everyone. You know, I think I don't know if age has anything to do with that. To me, it seems like the people that are wanting to get tattooed now are getting more of the photorealism stuff, the super elaborate stuff. But I did see some really good Japanese work in Philly at the convention. I think that finances might have a lot to do with that too. Um, you know, like some of the stuff that 10,000 Waves was doing, was sick. Between JoJo's work and Robert Atkinson's work, amazing. But that's getting your whole back done. That's not cheap. Doesn't matter who you're getting it from. It's not cheap. So, Drag said, I have 3 dragons on me. There you go. I have, on my arm, I have like it's a Tony Savaro kind of, what's his design actually, but it was done by a tattoo artist named Bill Keithley. And it's got some Onis on it, but I don't know if I would go full tilt and say it's Japanese. Dandy Dick said, I'm working on a full back piece now for a friend who was an addict. It's half Hannya, half Foo Dog. Dude, nice. You know what? I'm so happy you said that, because it just actually reminded me of something. You know, my biggest thing for these live streams was to create a community. Now, Drag, I know you don't do social media, but for the rest of you that are listening, I was actually thinking about creating a Facebook group where it would be everyone that is part of our community, and anyone could post in there. So this way, like if you got something new, like you got a cool tattoo done and you wanted to share it with everybody, you could post it in there. you got a cool story to tell, you could post it in there. Would that be something that'd be interesting for you guys? I think it'd be cool. I think it would make the community even a little tighter. We have a lot of people that show up on Wednesday nights and Sunday nights, but I don't know how often some of you get to interact with each other. I know there's a few of you that interact with each other on Instagram and stuff like that, but I felt like it would be a cool thing to do. I create the group, we call it the Tattoos and Review family or something like that. I invite everybody or whatever, and we get that going. And then this way, you guys can constantly post in there and share stuff with each other. And I know all of you are, it's like a revolving door of people that are getting new tattoos and stuff like that. It'd be a cool way to share with everybody else that listens to the show. And, maybe a place for me to pull stuff up to say, hey, man, look, this was posted in our community this week. You know, I thought it'd be kind of cool. Let's see here. Bill O'Connell said, Buck, we understand, brother. I appreciate that. Drag said he's on Discord. I have Discord that I used to use for a game that I used to play. I might be able to set up something. I'm real novice when it comes to Discord, but I could try it. I would use a Facebook to be part of the group. All right, cool. I would use the Facebook group. Totally down. All right, cool, man. So what I'll do is I will see about creating that, getting it set up, and then what I'll do is I'll post it in the community tab on YouTube, the link for it, and then we can go from there. I know some of you already follow the Tattoos and Review Facebook page. If you haven't, please do. And it's also easier to send me an invite through that as well. So, must take care of yourself first. I lost weight when I went vegan in 2014. Hard to get enough protein though. Yeah, I can't do vegan, dude. As much as it would probably be super healthy for me and probably make me drop weight pretty quick, I can't. I gotta have a steak every once in a while, man, or a burger, dude. I gotta have meat. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do it. Plus, I really, really do not do tofu at all. Tofu is bad for your testosterone as a male. So, cool, man. We got a bunch of people that said they'd be in for the Facebook group. So, I'll definitely do that. I'll get it going. I'll get it set up. It shouldn't take long. And then as far as the Discord thing, man, that might be cool too. I don't know. I don't know a lot about Discord. Like I said, I used it for a game that I was playing. And I really haven't done much with it. So I could always check it out, though. I'm trying to remember. I think I still have it. I don't know how to set up it. I can look it up, dude. I'll figure it out. If that'd be something you're into, too. I mean, I had to look to see what game I was using it for. It was Raid Shadow Legends back in the day. I used to play that a lot. I haven't played it in ages, though. You don't have to do 100% vegan maybe a few times a week. Well, yeah, that's true, too. I think what my intent is starting this weekend is I'm going to do protein shakes for breakfast and lunch, eat a full dinner with a nice salad, and then that'll kind of ease my way into it. And then, I've done intermittent fasting before. It worked really good for me. That's hard to stick to though. Yeah, so Drag just said it's perfecto for talking on Discord. That would be cool. Um, yeah, like I said, Drag, I'll look into it, man. I'm willing to go. I'm willing to branch out to wherever we got to branch out to keep this family unit thing that we're starting to build here. I feel like we have a really good crew of regulars that show up. I want to just try to make it easier for you all to contact each other, talk to each other, and share cool stuff with each other, especially when it comes to tattooing stuff. I don't know. Lauren doesn't come in anymore, but she was, posting a lot of Flash that she was doing. That would have been a cool place for her to post Flash. Drag's tattooing. Danny Dick's tattooing. We got Brad that's in here every once in a while. He tattoos. Justin. So there's tons of tattoo artists that are in our chat all the time. Mondo. So Scott tattoos. So we have a bunch of tattoo artists that could always post up work that they're doing or something they're working on. Man, it'd just be cool to, even if we're just saying, hey, man, I'm feeling a little under the weather today, dude, or you know what, man, I'm feeling a little down today and I need to pick me up and just somebody to talk to. Shit like that, dude. Not me personally, but, um, you know, it gives everybody an opportunity. That sounds good too, Buck. Just stay healthy, bro. I was not overweight when I went vegan, still lost weight. Yeah, dude. I don't know, man, what happened, but I think it was a combination of, I don't know if you guys all know this or not, but I work a regular 40-hour week job. And then, at times I put in 20 to 30 hours a week doing video stuff, whether it's editing or filming or whatever. So between that stuff, um, not going to the gym, eating, my diet's not like horrible, but it could definitely be cleaned up. I just have like the perfect storm of, unhealthy going on. Plus, my back is completely jacked up. I had back surgery 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Uh, People ask me all the time, was it worth it? Yeah, I guess, but it didn't really. I didn't get fixed like I thought it would work. So sometimes that happens, though. What are you going to do? But you know, it's. I thought I was going to be able to pull off this Wednesday night thing, and I gave it a whirl. It worked. I mean, I could continue to do it, but like I said, it would be more beneficial for me to spend time editing and researching and putting together some more episodes that I want to do, because I feel like I keep, ultimately I'd like to get back on track to where I put out an episode a week. Can I do that? I don't know, but I'm going to damn sure try, because when I first started this channel, I was basically doing one a week. Now, it's every 3 weeks, and that's not good. It's funny. Pim asked me last night, have I ever interviewed any newer people to the craft? And I said to her, yeah, I had a couple people with like 1 or 2 years that I interviewed at the beginning. And I said that I stopped doing that. And she asked me why. And I said it had nothing to do with them being, a beginner tattooer or anything like that. It was, I felt bad when, I would, these people would spend an hour out of their day to do an interview, and maybe I didn't get a lot of views because of name recognition, stuff like that, and I felt like I failed them. I felt like I didn't do them justice, and it was my fault that I didn't get views and stuff like that. I don't want people wasting their time. So that's something that I said that later down the road I would get back into doing once, maybe the channel's a little bit bigger. It's, you get, and it's not always about views, but I also don't, I want people to see the stuff that they're doing. I want people to get into, oh man, that's really cool, dude. Yeah, they're new, but check out the work they're doing. And if, I can't get that, then I don't want to waste anybody's time. So, loves, what's going on, man? What's up? What's up? Bill O'Connell said, much love to you, Buck. We all know you're a good dude. Hang in there. Take care. Take it slow. It will happen. Yeah, man. That was the other thing I said to her. I said, look, Pim, you're starting out this channel. If you don't get a lot of views, it's okay. It'll build. What you need to realize is that you're building a catalog. And what was really cool was today I had validation of that. I had somebody that made a comment that went back, way back in the catalog, and watched, probably one of my first 10 or 15 videos. So it was a while ago, and it was awesome to see that, because that means that, yeah, it is actually a catalog of stuff where people can go back and watch previous, episodes that I did, and still, has value to it. I guess that's one of the cool things about doing history is it's not something, current trending topic. Now, obviously, I did do one or two things like that where I did the episode with the Kat Von D and her copyright claims, or case, I should say. And then I also did the one with Jelly Roll, which, to me at the time, that it really hit home because Justin and I are both in recovery. So, that was a topic that kind of hit home for me. And, it's tattoo related in the aspect that, Jelly Roll is covered with tattoos, but, most of my stuff is history, so it's relevant year round. Scott Forrest said, brother, this shit is hard, much harder than ever expected. Yeah, that's the other thing I told Pim. I said, people that don't create content, I'm not talking about anybody in here, but I'm talking about like the general, you know, they think that you just hit record and you throw it out there and the magic happens, and it's not that way, man. I mean, there's like all kinds of shit that goes on behind the scenes as far as, even just putting tags on your episodes to make sure it gets to the right people. There's like all these little tiny things that have to happen in the background to make this stuff go. And it was very eye-opening for me when I first started doing this as well. I guess I was one of those people that thought, oh man, I'm just hit record and throw it out there and everything's gonna happen. It's not that easy. There's a lot of shit that goes on with this stuff. Bill O'Connell said, I mean, your show and your weight, it will all be good, bro. No, I know, man. I know. I think that, man, I'm resilient. I have my moments where, I'm like, man, I don't know. Should I keep going with this? Should I keep going? And then I'm just like, nah, dude, put chin up, chest out, dude, keep going. Keep pushing forward. And I think a lot of that is going back to the recovery thing, man. Like, if you want it, you want it. You're going to keep fighting for it. And that's what I'm going to keep doing. So that's why I'm saying, like, Wednesday nights, yeah, it's going to stop for a while. Doesn't mean it's going to be the end. It just means for right now. We can revisit it later, maybe I got a little bit more time on my hands or I get some stuff worked out. And then it's like, all right, cool, man. I can figure out a time that we could do this. It might not be even Wednesday night. It might be another night. I just don't want to ruin the community that we have. And I also don't want to put myself in a position, which I'm starting to see now, where I'm falling back on stuff and I'm not putting out as content as fast as I'd like to put it out. And I don't want to half-ass it because that's not in my nature. I want to give you as much accurate information as I can. And, I'm not about cutting corners. So, unfortunately that takes a little bit more time, and I'm a one-man show. That's the other thing, I'm my own camera guy, my own research assistant, my own editor, my own thumbnail maker. Like, I don't have anybody to do that. It's funny because Pim asked me, oh, you're monetized? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't make a shit ton of money. I was actually getting ready to make a thing the other day. I'm still probably going to do it. But it's the uncle from the Righteous Gemstones, where he's talking about, they ask him, well, how much money you make? And he's like, well, after I pay my research assistants and my developers, and I don't have a lot. You know what I mean? And she was asking me because she's like, when is it going to happen for her? People also need to realize too, man, that you have to put some people put a year or more into this before they even get monetized. I think it took me like 18 months. There's these guys out there, people out there, I should say. Oh man, I got monetized in 2 months. Well, they fail to tell you that, it's their third channel or something. Like, they already know all the tricks of the trade by the time they pop that channel. They're not going to tell you that because they're trying to sell you their bullshit book or their bullshit course to, oh, buy my course and we can get you monetized in a month. Yeah, dude, you still got to do the work. That's all there is to it, man. It's just like everything else in this world. Just like tattooing, man. You got to put in the work. You got to grind in order to get there. So it's all good, man. we're gonna make it happen no matter what. I think if we do this little Facebook community thing, it'll be cool. I think it'll continue to help our community grow. You'll also have the ability to add anybody that you're friends with, man. If you wind up being like, you have a fellow tattoo artist that you're friends with, and you're like, oh, dude, jump in on this group. It's cool. You'll have that ability as well. I just think it'd be kind of cool. Gives us an opportunity to talk throughout the week or whatever. I don't really do Facebook that much. I have my, tattoos and review page. Justin actually runs the Two Fat Guys in a Tattoo Shop. But I would say I'm on Instagram more than anything. Just because it's easier to just throw a picture up. But we'll get there, man. We'll get it going. I know I didn't have a lot of info tonight for the Hannya Oni masks, but I figured it was enough to start you down a rabbit hole if you're interested in looking into that stuff. Really cool traditional stuff to look into, though, man. If you really want to dive into the Japanese tattooing and the art of it, I gave you 2 examples of really good channels to watch. You could start peeking at them yourselves and checking them out and go from there. That's all I pretty much have for tonight, man. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. Like I said, it's not the end of Wednesdays. It's just the end for right now. We'll get back to it soon. I hope you all have a good, safe, happy week. I hope I see you all on Sunday night. And from what I understand, we are getting another snowstorm on Sunday. So I don't know if we'll be in the shop or not. But either way, Justin and I will be here on Sunday night for our regular 6 o'clock live stream. Have a good night. Peace out. See you next time.